Hey guys, before we continue with the video, I just want to let you know that I've recently unlocked the membership tab, which gives you the opportunity to support me for a membership price of $4.99 if you want to. This will grant you a loyalty badge next to your name and custom emojis which you can use in the comments and live chat. Alright, let's get on with the video. In today's video, I wanna talk about some thoughts I had in my mind recently, which I just wanna share with you and talk about some, let's say, crazy theories. Let's start with the first one. Kira was a corrupted member / spy from the JFA to stop the Blue Lock project. So as we know, Kira was Isagi's first rival in Blue Lock, who managed to destroy Isagi's dream of becoming a pro football player during the Saitama Nationals. Like Isagi, Kira took part in the Blue Lock project, and as we know, was Team Z's first member to be eliminated. Most of the fans in the community are sure that Kira was just a stereotypical character, created by Kanijiro to show that in today's world of football, there are many golden talents like Kira who get hyped easily by media and fans and would then just turn out to be big failures. And especially Japan has a history of many failed talents, and therefore it is no surprise that Kira could be one among them. But what if there's actually more meaning behind Kira's participation in Blue Lock and his elimination? So at the beginning of Blue Lock, after Kira won against Isagi's team with his final goal of the match, Kira got interviewed, and during the interview we got the information that Kira has actually already been nominated for the U18 of Japan and therefore already is a member of the national team. The question I was asking myself then was, why did Kira still get an invitation from Henry to join the Blue Lock project, and why would he even participate in it? Well, obviously as he thought it's a regular talent scouting event, he decided to just go there, you might think. But what if he actually got sent by the JFA to eliminate the project in the first place? Kira was known by every Team Z member, which we can already take as a first hint for Kira being a quality player. When Kira and Isagi met each other at the entrance of Blue Lock, Kira talked to Isagi and acknowledged him for being a great player with high football intelligence, someone who could have the ability to assist others with great passes due to his intelligence and spatial awareness. So Kira already knew from just one game which great potential Isagi has. During Igo's speech, Kira confronts Igo for teaching the players a wrong philosophy, and later during the first challenge of the project, the game of tag, Kira tells Isagi that he's only in the project to prove Igo wrong. During the series, there are many scenes where we get the impression that the JFA, especially President Buruzuta, actually doesn't want to support Blue Lock at all, as it only costs him money, which is all he's concerned about, as in his eyes, the Blue project won't help Japan to win the World Cup in the future. This is also the reason why he was desperately trying to bring in Shido alongside Zai before the U20 vs Blue Lock 11 match, which was also scheduled under the condition that Blue Lock will get dissolved if they lose the match against the U20. It is also stated many times by Andre during the series that they only have a limited amount of resources that they can use, which mustn't be wasted, and we can for sure say now that Buruzuta tried several times through in different ways to stop Blue Lock from becoming a success, and Kira being one of the factors to stop Blue Lock, as he was Japan's biggest talent, their national treasure, wouldn't surprise me. Second theory. Chigiri will suffer a career-ending injury. As we know, Chigiri has always been a great ringer and was one of the biggest talents during his middle school days. Unfortunately, Chigiri damaged his ACL in a match, which was also the reason why he decided to stop chasing his dream of becoming a pro footballer and therefore took part in Blue Lock so he could put an end to his misery until he met Isagi, who changed his mind. As we know, Kanijiro is a fan of Japan's greatest and most known football manga and anime, Captain Tsubasa, and also includes several characters in this series that resemble some of the Tsubasa franchise. The Wanima brothers that kind of resemble the Tachibanas, Igarashi who resembles Ishizaki, and Chigiri who kind of resembles Yun Mizugi. Mizugi was known as young noble of the field prince and ace of glass, while Chigiri is often referred to as the princess. So both get referred with noble nicknames, and both share the same fate of suffering under potentially career-ending injuries. Chigiri, whose ACL could blow up one day, and Mizugi, who had a heart disease that limited his playtime during his career and even made him quit and becoming an assistant manager at one point. And I can see something similar happen to Chigiri. In the match against the U20, Chigiri had to get subbed off due to his lack of stamina, as he wasn't stamina-wise as trained as the others because he hardly trained in the past 2 years, and he couldn't make up for his lost time. Now that he's joined manshine and went through a training with Chris Prince that should have improved his physicality and stamina a lot, I think Chigiri should be able to easily do full games in the future. Nevertheless, his ACL injury got focused a lot whenever he had screen time, and still does, and I can imagine a scenario in the last arc of Blue Lock, the World Cup arc, where Chigiri will face an opponent, someone like, let's say, Adam Blake, that is known for his aggressive playstyle followed by many fouls. I can imagine that Chigiri will have an game-breaking impact in the semi-final game, or even in the finale, which will lead to Blue Lock being successful and winning the World Cup thanks to Chigiri's performance and sacrifice, but will also lead to him having to end his career as he will suffer another big ACL injury, which he won't be able to recover from. Chigiri would still have a happy end though, as he was able to fulfill his dream of becoming a pro football player and even win the World Cup with Japan and write history and be an inspiration to people who share a similar fate. I could imagine Chigiri being a kind of scout, assistant or motivation coach after his career who works with talents and players that suffer under the same circumstances and will learn how to deal with difficult diseases or injuries. Third theory. Kunigami eliminated every Team Z member. Kunigami was basically one of Isagi's first friends in Blue Lock and first character to have a different motive than most of the other participants. While many members try to achieve their dream of becoming a pro football player, Kunigami has the dream of becoming a football superhero. A hero people look up to and can find inspiration, as he loved to watch football players when he was a kid, who were superheroes to him that were actually real. Later on, Kunigami got eliminated from Blue Lock as he lost the 2v2 match during the second selection with Ryo against Shido and Igarashi. Kunigami thought his career was over, but then took the second chance and went through the wildcard. Several chapters later, Kunigami made his return to Blue Lock in a completely different style, as his wildcard experiences changed him and made him bury his inspiration of becoming a hero. From his conversation with Isagi, we know that the wildcard was actually a system whose task is to create the perfect clone of the world's best footballer Noel. So Kunigami has kind of become a villain now, and the question of what Kunigami had to go through during the wildcard and what he had experienced still remains. There are some Team Z members like Yoichi, Gagamaru, Igarashi who made it to the recent selection, but there are also some members like Yamon and Kwon who didn't, and we never got the truth about what happened to them. What if all the failed Team Z members and other characters like Okawa entered the wildcard alongside Kunigami and had to go through some very military-like brutal training and mind-breaking elimination matches? We know that Kunigami definitely had to go through a hard physicality training, as his physicality improved insanely, which he proved during the best at Munich training, as he was able to keep up with the best at Munich members. But what if his will, his fire, his dream of becoming a superhero got completely crushed during the wildcard selection by forcing him to become as heartless and cold as possible? And one way to do this would be to make him go against his own ideals and force him to become a villain. And how could you possibly achieve this? By making him eliminate his own friends, his former Team Z members. I can imagine several 1v1 challenges, for example, where he had to eliminate each and every Team Z member and crush their dream right in front of his own eyes. This could make Kunigami realize that he was becoming a kind of monster instead of being an inspiration to others, a villain, someone others despise. At the same time, Kunigami could also realize that becoming a villain got him much further than trying to be a hero, which could be the reason why he got deeper and deeper into his spiral of darkness. And I think we are all sure that the match between Best and Munich and PXG will become a crucial match for Kunigami, as he will get his revenge against Shido, which will also be the match in which we for sure will get the revelation of what Kunigami had to go through in the wildcard. Alright guys, what do you think about these theories? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.